perspective that's missing from this is that while you are at your front door protecting your daughter's hymen with your life, protecting her from the boys, the girls are coming in through the back door.
Tell them, Hanifa. Tell them.
Let's make one thing clear. Because of you is why we're here. You give us life, you give us love. That is why we want you dear to our heart. Come and join the show, cause we need you to grow. So pull up and share with us all of the things you know.
On this online space, you've seen a lot.
Mhm.
We've had our bumps and bruises and weird little things happen. What is your major takeaway or impression of how the various forms of blackness use the online space? Like, what is your feeling about that?
Oh man, honestly, Ashan, I came into this space thinking that I could just connect with, my people, sort of, right? And I learned very quickly that all of us are just not on the same frequency. Like that's just there's no way to dance around that. And you know what? That's okay. Because the frequency that I'm on today, I probably wasn't on 5 years ago, right? So I was probably attracted to different things than what I'm attracted to now, right? Everybody has their own journey, whatever that their own journey of growth, of progression, of elevation, whatever that is, they have their own thing. Okay. Some people are where I was 2 years ago currently. They're there now. Okay. So what I had to learn is anyone that knows me, I extend grace to the worst of them. That's just me. It is how I'm wired. It is how I function. That is just me because I think that anyone that's willing can change. I don't care what you've done. Okay. But in this space, I just wow. Like I never thought that I would meet black people that didn't think racism existed until I entered the space. I
You're
never
trying to
thought
trigger me. You're
I,
trying to trigger me.
I, ne- I never thought that I would meet black people who are willing to derail a conversation by saying that race is a social construct. And I'm like, so is time as we know it. Like, what we doing? Like, there are so many social constructs that you don't even bring up, like that you're not even mentioning. And that's how I know the reason why you're bringing up race as a social construct is because you just don't want to have the conversation, and that's okay. One of the things that I've observed as far as the collective, I guess, I think we just need to be honest. I think we just need to be honest. And if you feel like the black collective, you don't want to affiliate with them, even if you're black, if you find that they're embarrassing, like I need us to have that conversation. I need us to not like dance around it. Like, oh, why
Right.
are we even talking about race? It's a social construct anyway. Like, so are so many other things that you participate in every single day. Okay, so let's not do that. Now, if you want to have a conversation and say, I just don't want to be associated with these types of people, then let's have that conversation. But let's not dance around the real issue and make it something that it's not. So that's another thing that I had to really understand that, wow, no. Everybody's just, yeah. and one of the things too, we don't respect each other's opinions. We don't respect each other's opinions. We don't. Like, we literally want everybody to think exactly the way we do. And yet, we don't all have the same experiences. We are not all experiencing the world the same way, even within a racist society. We're still not experiencing the world the same way. And so, why do I think that Ashan, you and I gonna be somewhere? And I'm from the islands, okay? I have a different
Yep.
perspective on so many things, okay? For you to think simply because I'm black that I am going to see it this way, it's like you're doing yourself a this. You're about to give yourself a heart attack, okay? Because
Absolutely.
So that's one of the things that I notice as well. We don't respect each other's opinions. Um, we attack each other for just having a different perspective. I mean, personal attacks. Like, I'm just like, he just sees it different. That's all. That's it. Like, relax, breathe. I was listening to a panel last night, and one of the things that came up, this is the perspective that I'm talking about. One of the
Oh
things
boy.
that came up was around they were talking about raising children, right? And everybody was talking about like what they wouldn't allow with their daughters and so forth. And I felt like this is where different perspectives come in, because I work in child welfare for so long that, and I also trained like foster parents on things to like look for and so forth, right? Because just kind of trauma informed trainings. And one of the things that I noticed that was missing, hey, my 3-year-old hasn't read as many books as me, and even he has insight.
Yeah.
So that's not true, okay?
Yeah.
Now, I agree. Now, my 3-year-old should not be up here presenting themselves as a what do you call it, an expert.
Yeah.
You know, now he needs to sit his 3 years of experience behind down somewhere. But it could be something that he speaks on, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even look at it that way. So everybody can contribute, but everybody cannot present themselves as experts. So I could, if I could speak to
Yes.
that. But anyway, so they were talking about children. And I was like, I think the part that y'all are missing is we're in 2022. So many of our young people are sexually fluid. Like, it's a real thing. So you are talking about, you could tell the conversation was very, it was more of like a heterosexual perspective, because it was really focused on their young girls dating boys. That's what that conversation was about. And you know what I said listening to them? I said, I went to bed, so I didn't listen to the whole thing. But in that moment, I said, the perspective that's missing from this is that while you are at your front door protecting your daughter's hymen with your life, protecting her from the boys, the girls are coming in through the back door.
Tell them, Hanifa.
That's
Tell
the
them.
perspective that we are in 2022. The same little girls that you are letting your daughter have sleepovers with, she's tongue kissing in their parents' house. So you guys are so caught up thinking that, oh, because you assume, because you wouldn't
Mhm.
wish homosexuality on your child, you automatically assume that your child is heterosexual. You automatically assume that. So you have a lot of people out there where it's like, my daughter is not going to do this. And they're so focused on the boys. Stay away from the boys. Stay away. And then they're sending their daughter just about every other weekend over to their girlfriend's house.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, the girlfriend, we call her the best friend.
Yeah. Yep. 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 I need to see. And people don't, honestly, people do so many things we don't consider because we're wrapped up in our own little world. Like you said, so many people that won't accept another way of being or another, like it all translates to the same thing. You
Yeah.
come online and you attack people personally because they don't think like you. So that means you don't even entertain thoughts that aren't in line with your own. So
Yes.
that applies to your real life. So I mean, I love that the crowd, the people here, Quiet Bree loves it. So yeah,